Well, Minister, the conversation is very interesting, and I'm sure that our listeners want a chance to get in on the conversation. So at this time, we open the lines, and I advise you that the numbers to call in are 465-2555. That's 465-2555. If you are overseas and you want to call in as well, you can call at 718-577-2916. That's 718-577-2916. And we have a caller on the line. Good afternoon. Welcome to Working For You.
Good afternoon to your host, and good afternoon to the Honorable Sir Vincent Byron, Attorney General.
Good afternoon.
And audience out there.
Good afternoon.
I just want to congratulate you on this appointment as the Attorney General in terms of having to be the one who fights to remove the other one, who, along with the one before him, would have never done the job what you are doing right now in terms of trying to repair and reverse the damage that was done by both of them. And I have to commend you because you did give an overall review in terms of how things have been happening in terms of the Vincent and the other different areas where the country was reputation was damaged, and where you all had to go and speak with these different powerful countries in the world, whether the Euro, the English, or the Canadians, and try to have these things rectified, because it's very, 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 very hard when they're going to have to make a decision and implement the visa free and also consider implementing other sanctions against us. So I want to thank you for that, dear. But you spoke about something there where definitely I don't think will fit well with me particular. And that come back to the point where we speak about the people who were there before and the connection in terms of family and the politics and that kind of radio. You understand what I'm saying, right?
Not quite.
Not quite, meaning that you spoke about in terms of not victimizing people and repositioning people and
yes.
Not that kind of way, but you talk about the connection between that kind of radio, where the team unity have to be in a way that it doesn't prove to be looking at like victimizing people.
Yes.
That labor people, camp people are the same people.
Yes.
But at the same time, let me look at it like this, Honorable, because it's important. I'm not speaking for myself only, I'm speaking on behalf of other people, because they might have felt that unity is failing them or victimizing them by allowing people who were there prior to the past election, who didn't like them, but now is in the same position where they have to go and deal with them. Do you think that is something where the people who supported Team Unity will be able to live with in terms of going forward, or do you think Team Unity will have to revisit that position when you speak about this afternoon?
Yeah.
It's important that
yes.
you actually look at it like that, because
okay.
at the same time, the government had certain issues where they have with the past government, and your office is the legal department where you have to take up certain issues, and at the same time, you have certain lawyers and certain people who are there under the past government. You feel confident in giving them a case against the past government in terms of dealing with, or you think that is something where it's blowing up the process? Have a good day.
Okay, Carl, I want to thank you for raising that concern, and the Attorney General will
yeah.
speak to it.
Thank you very much for that question. I think it's a very critical question, because it is one that I'm confronted with on a regular basis, where supporters of unity feel that this government has not been aggressive enough in bringing, and as it was, some of them speak about locking up people, and I would want to respond like this. The Team Unity movement, this is how I introduced it, and I stand by it, campaigned for 26 months that they would conduct themselves differently from what had pertained before. And I don't want to belabor the point, but I should mention what I mean by that. There are a lot of people who were denied a proper and a fair chance when Labour was in power. Some people were terminated. Some people did not get the proper opportunity to advance in the public service. They were marginalized, and therefore there was a lot of frustration by our people. And when I say our people, I'm talking generally by our people. I think that there is genuine concern that there are a number of people who were quote-unquote political under the Douglas administration who continue to function in the public service and who, by extension, should now be marginalized, or for that matter, repositioned, is the term he used, a very good word, or even dismissed. And I say, for me, this is not what we campaigned about. I'm very clear in my mind on that, because we appealed, our message appealed, not just to PAM people, or quote-unquote unity people. It appealed to the country. And a number of people who supported the Labour administration voted for the Team Unity movement because they felt that this administration, our administration, would issue in to St. Kitts and Nevis a new day. That the atmosphere would be different. That it would capture, as it was, the type of country in which we can live in, be friends, and openly interact with people despite of your political views. It is what some people refer to as political tribalism. I'm Labour, I look out for Labour, and forget those. I'm Unity, gave it a Labour, only Unity people. And we're just going from one pole to the other pole. I genuinely believe that this is not what this country should be about. And we can only lift it if it is that we are willing to embrace the people, all of our people. Now, it does not mean that there won't be those who still support Labour. And we hear a number of negative comments on other programs that are constant, the irk, that get behind people. And people tend to feel, boy, when they're banging them out, like you have to do them something. I have a different view. Because when I hear about, I don't have time to listen to it, when I hear about what is being said by certain members in Parliament, for instance, or on radio stations, for me, it only solidifies why it is that the people of St. Kitts and Nevis voted Labour out of office. That's why they voted them out. But do they want another government to act in the same way against Labour people? I don't think that's what the country wants. We have to be very, very careful that we have to take our time and evolve a new culture in this country. A new culture. It's going to be difficult because people have taken 20 years to be acculturated, for it to be ingrained in them. And it's not going to take 9 months to get it out of our system as a country. It might not take a year, it might not even take 5 years, but we have to work every day to make sure that we as a people can appreciate when somebody does their work. You support Labour? That's fine. Do your work. If you don't do your work, the normal practices in any business is, they'll see you later. We sanction you. But not because I'm Labour, therefore do me something. I don't think so. This is not what we campaigned about. This is not what this country needs. No. At the same time, I'm hearing in that question the fact that there have been a number of things that we claimed while in opposition were wrong. may be illegal. And it is our duty now to properly investigate those. Properly investigate them. It may need accounting investigations, forensic accounting. And once we get the evidence that wrongdoing was done, the law must prevail. That has to be the process. Not that we say, we're going to do you something and then look for it afterwards. I am being confronted. One of the issues that I've inherited is, as Attorney General, is that the previous administration, dealing with the issue of crime, did certain things to some of our citizens. Whether they're bad, whatever it is. People were locked up, some for 2-3 years. We get to the courthouse clock, and the matters were withdrawn for lack of evidence, nolly-prost. Those are coming home to roost now. That is not justice. We live in a country where we say we adhere to the rule of law and the administration of justice. And we must believe that everyone must have their fair opportunity to prove their innocence under the law. And we cannot break the law or anything like that. If and when we do find the evidence, these individuals will be taken before the courts and the law will deal with them properly. No one is going to escape that. But it can't all happen in 9 months. If it has not happened yet, it doesn't mean it's not going to happen. It does not mean it's not going to happen. But we will be investigating a number of infractions that we see, whether it is some of the programs under the SIDF, like SAFE and so on. We will be investigating them properly. They'll be investigated forensically, and when we find whatever there is to be found, these matters will be placed before the Director of Public Prosecutions in the rise to a criminal level, or if not, if it's a civil matter, we will deal with them. We will deal with them. But to say that we are not using that to go out to do something to people. Justice is not about revenge and vengefulness. Cannot be, because that is not the type of country we need and want. Team unity was to issue in something new, a breath of fresh air in this country, and we have to keep it that way.